there's no etiquette to how to drink. There is no guidance on how to drink. Just people get smashed. That's the idea, basically. You get so drunk you forget where you've been and you forget your name, and that's how people drink here. In Bulgaria, in Bulgaria, in Greece, and in other parts of Europe, there are ways of doing it that are like, you know, you're being taught by other people how to drink. You know, you drink to enhance.
No, it's very different.
Whatever it is, you know. Yeah, you don't drink to get poisoned by the alcohol.
I was watching. There's a show where this guy, he went to, I don't know if it was Spain. I think it was Spain, and he was watching them make this liquor that they made, and you know, they made this liquor and they went to drink it. You know, this is what the finished. Obviously, it was another bottle they had. You can't. It takes a while to distill things. But basically, you know, they give him a shot glass. At least that's what we call him. But he gives him those little glasses that you put liquor in, and the guy in the show, it was a documentary thing, he just downs it. You know, he just totally, just boom, one little gulp.
Like a boss, yeah.
And they told him, like, no, we don't do that here, like, no cowboy. You know, he said no cowboy, you know, the Spaniard, right? And basically, even though they give you a little tiny shot glass, they still sip it. You know, they still enjoy just the flavor of the liquor, which here, like, our liquor is usually really terrible tasting, and then we have to drink it straight really fast because, one, we want to get drunk, but also because of the taste, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
that's what I mean.
Is it like that in Bulgaria, maybe?
Yeah, you kind of again, you drink, but you mostly drink to, you know, it's to enhance, you know, just to make the evening feel better.
Just to have a nice, you take the corners off.
Tongue,
take the corners off, right? That's it.
Yeah, or whatever the expression goes, yeah.
Well, round off.
Exactly, yeah. But some people take everything off. You know? Clothes start dropping off, everything. Teeth, minds. It's just, yeah, it's.
Well, I just finished a book. I don't know if you saw, but cause I know you're on Goodreads, right?
Yeah, I saw you tweet that too.
Way at the Peaceful Warrior, and basically, you know, you had the guy, you had him go through a fast and not drink, and you know, and basically one day he pulls out like a smoke and he starts smoking, and he's like, I thought you said that smoking was bad. He's like, no, the habit of smoking is bad. But like, the idea, it's not that you can't ever drink ever, right? It's that if you're just being drunk every day, you know, if your whole life is dependent on you getting hang on, I'm shooting at stuff.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
I know, right? Good fight here. Shit. I'm fucked. I went to pull the trigger on somebody right on him, far away. And my gun is empty.
We have taken Bravo.
This guy's behind us in B.
Enemies there.
But basically the idea is, and that's why, like, oh shit, people do meditation and things, is to it's to not let life be such a blur, you know? Be in the moment and just kind of accept it's our own fucking, like, oh no, that's them, never mind. You mean in the whole entire world, illegal drinking is 18? America is the only place that's 21. Some places are even 16 if you have your parents with you. So, like, alcohol from yesterday. I went to a beer fest for your first time. Okay. Well, hopefully you had fun. But what was interesting, what was really interesting, though, and I'm kind of the same way, like, the guy basically despises mediocrity.
Okay.
So,
that's like me, basically.
So yeah, like, so he basically tells him, like, hey, don't drink for this amount of time, blah blah blah. That was part of his training, was to have control over himself and not, you know, get caught up like everybody else does. But then he takes them out to a bar and they get drunk, and they don't just like they don't drink, they get fucking smashed, right? And
Yeah.
which that's the best time when you haven't drank for a while, because then you just get
Delta is being
so
attacked.
drunk so easily.
Delta is
Um,
being attacked.
I remember when I got back from Iraq, and then like a month or two later, it was my birthday,
We
my
are taking
21st.
Foxtrot.
So I went out drinking, and oh my god, I got so smashed. Like, I know that everybody does, but what I'm saying is that my tolerance was shit, you know, to begin with. And then people just kept buying me drinks, you know. Good friends too. Like they wouldn't let me pay for my own drinks or anything. You know, everybody paid for me, and it was just. Which, lucky for them, it didn't take much. You know, that's all I'm saying.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic, friend.
Yeah, but it was the first time I ever blacked out. Ever.
Wow.
We have taken
It's pretty bad.
Foxtrot.
Talk about losing control.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, basically the idea is like if you're gonna do something, do it. Don't half-ass it. You know, don't do it or go all the way with it. Don't go somewhere in the middle. You know. So how many maps do we get? Is it only like a couple?
I mean, that's a great advertisement for suicide bombing. I'm sorry, I'm joking about these things. Do
Yeah.
it. So, should shut up. Shut up. That's just horrible. Don't just do it. Like Nike should sponsor that.
But
Oh,
that's the other thing about Islam is that, as fucked up as it is, there's still going to be those parts of it that, and I think that's what sucks people in, is that really like as a way of living, in a lot of ways, not all the ways, but in a lot of ways, I could see how Islam could be appealing to some people. Like for example, praying every day, right? I mean that's whether you believe in God or not. I mean like praying or just even just meditating, sitting quietly, just doing something that's disciplined, you know. Or the fact that like Muslims are like they don't eat pork, you know, and that's something that like Christians aren't supposed to do. We just kind of just at some point, kind of like you said about other things in Christianity, how it adapts. Like at some point we just went, the hell with it. I'm gonna eat bacon. You know, like that's basically what happened. So, like I could see how what I don't get. I just feel like there's something else there though. How I don't know. It's like people will talk shit about like
Hurry.
even if people hate religion, that's fine. I don't care. I would rather have somebody talk shit about Christianity, provided that they look at all religions the same way. Like I will respect that much more than what we have now, which is basically people will talk shit about Christianity and Judaism, which also
Being attacked.
is like Islam is still very, very disciplined, and they don't believe in eating pork. You know, they have that word, you know, kosher pickles, right? You know, another thing about Judaism is it promotes fiscal responsibility. You know, it promotes you taking 10% of your earnings and donating to charity. You know, tithing. You know, that's where the word tithing comes from. Is actually 10%. You know, in Hebrew, I believe.
didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, tithing 10, right? So, like, for the government to want 30% of my fucking paycheck when I live alone and, you know, am not making it myself, that's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But anyway, like, what's weird is people will talk shit about Judaism, people will talk shit about Christianity, but somehow Islam is supposedly, I don't know, everybody defends it. And not everybody, obviously, but it's like, it's the exception somehow. Even though
Take cover.
it's not Christians and Jews that are blowing themselves up in suicide bombings, you know what I mean? Hey, KCPR TV, thank you very much for that follow. Welcome to the viewership. So it's just kind of this weird thing. And you know, I'll say this, like, there's definitely, like I said, there's some things that are, you know, that if we all adopted, that we would probably be better off if we lived that way, you know?
Taking Bravo.
But, oh my god, really? This person. Like, right next to me.
We are taking Delta.
No, I don't want to spawn in the chopper. Oh my fucking god. I will jump out and kill myself.
You wish. You wish, friend, you wish.
Oh my god. Get me out of this fucking thing.
No sweet release for you, friend. No sweet release.
So because people
Basically, yeah.
tend to know Christianity better. Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, that's a big part. Is like they won't talk about Islam because Islam. They know people deep down will know that Islam at its heart is violent. They just do. It's why like you see people talk about, oh well, we better cater to these Islamicists, otherwise you know they'll become radical. They'll become radicalized if we don't cater to them. Like, dude, if you have to fucking say that, they're already radical, okay? That should give you a fucking idea, you know, of whether or not you want them in your country. Like, you know what I mean? Of like, all these refugees. You know what I mean? Like, if that's your fucking thought process, you basically, it's because a lot of people are in denial, but it's like, if you... Everybody knows the truth inherently. Like, we all know it. We just deny certain shit. You know what I mean? Like, we all inherently know. It's like we know stealing is wrong. We know killing people is wrong. We know that the shit that's going on now is wrong, but, you know, people are in fucking denial. You know, that's the thing. Pointed out a nice thing. Christians used to be like, Islam now is... Difference is we had spears and bows, not guns and bombs.
Oh, come on, I hate you, friend.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, like, there were certain times, like if you look at, you know, Abraham and, you know, these other people, there were some people that were very militaristic, but it wasn't like, they did because that's how the times were in general. But also, it's not only that, but like,
That moment when someone is so accurate with a machine gun that they get 5 headshots at one burst.
you have to remember, like, a lot of the violent stuff was in the Old Testament. Okay, technically speaking, and by definition, a Christian is somebody, like, there was Judaism, and then Christianity came after. That Christianity is defined by the New Testament, not the Old Testament. Yeah, well, they were still writing history, so that was a big thing. But and I'm not excusing it, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't know. Show me in the New Testament where it tells you that you should go you know, commit a jihad and that you'll be rewarded. You know. It's just not. It's not there. You know, that's the thing. It's not what we preach. You know.
The problem with them, though, is that, you know, it's the commandments are very hard to follow. Because one of the commandments basically wants you to control your thoughts and wants you to censor your own thoughts. Because you're not supposed to think even of your neighbor's wife or possessions.
To covet thy neighbor's wife.
Yeah, you're not supposed to even think about that.
Well, you shouldn't think about it, but like, you should not covet. I mean, you shouldn't go through the action.
Yeah, but you're also kind of, you know, you have to. And there is also the idea that somebody's always watching you, and I love how Christopher puts it. He says, Christopher Hitchens, he says it's like a divine North Korea.
Hey, Matsio, thank you for that follow. Welcome to the viewership.
It just keeps keeps an eye out for you. And guess what, when you die, so they invite you to a party, and when you die, the party never ends. Basically, it's like you don't have a choice. You can't turn towards towards your superior leader and judge him or talk anything bad about him or question him. All of that, metaphorically speaking, yeah, I understand. If we take it like a story, like a tale, I can take that because I read fantasy.
Well, that's the thing is, like, the term Christian doesn't define me by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. It doesn't encapsulate me.
No, it would be too
like
limiting,
I kind of say it like this. I'm American first, and I don't know if I guess if you wanted to consider me Christian, I could say like I'm American first and Christian second, because Christian, like, a lot of American values are Christian, but also
yeah, it was kind of
my thing is kind of like, also, if you're not a Christian, like, okay, lottie fucking da, just don't try blowing me up. You know what I mean? We'll be okay.
and don't steal my wife.
And don't steal my. Well, like, the Ten Commandments. The thing is, I mean, that's why I don't understand why I get so much flack, because you have Islam, which has the taqiyya, which is a code of lying, okay, and then you have Christianity, which preaches not lying and keeping the Ten Commandments, which really any modernized society can respect, because that's how they got to where they are, is by having certain